Okay, we are back in open session, back on the agenda. Thank you to Bill for preparing the December minutes. I circulated them earlier today. I recognize I did it rather late in the day. If folks haven't had enough time to review it, we can certainly defer approval of December to February. Have folks in the room had a chance to look at it? Okay, all right. So then I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the minutes.
Any second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so the minutes unanimously pass. We've already covered public comment. There were none. Anna, Executive Director report.
I don't have a whole lot for you. You already covered that the affirmative action vendor is going to come in May. So other than that, I don't think I have anything really to update you on.
Okay, great. Anna sent around the statistical reports about a week ago. Any questions on those?
No.
Okay. Any extensions?
No.
Okay, easy. Okay, members' reports. Sean, I think you emailed me about this, but I'll just kick it over to you. Anything on the Equality Task Force?
No, nothing from the update from December. So we're hoping to get ahead of HRC this year. We know the areas that we need to correct, and it looks like, Anna, from year to year, they really rarely change their metrics. The HRC is going through a lot of flux right now and a lot of personnel turnover. But the issues that we as the county need to correct are easily correctable, and be able to address those things. If we can get some movement on a few things that are stalled or have been stalled, and I know that we've sent forward the language within the human rights code to mirror what the state has on file in terms of the
Benefits?
Not the benefits aspect, but the banning on conversion therapy,
yeah.
That the county, no county or state funds can be used for that. And that just mirrors the language of the state, so it's really easy to do. And then also, as we're still waiting on the anti-bullying, just the policy. I know we've spoken on that in the past, and I know the lawyers have discussed it. Any update on that, Anna?
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay, yeah. And I know that there was some confusion on the enforcement mechanism, but I believe it's more of just like, hey, this is the policy of, Arlington County public spaces, no bullying, respect, etc. And, it's not much of an issue. Surrounding counties and jurisdictions have put those in place. So if we can get them to if we can get the court to just do that,
yep.
That would be great. And I think that's it. And then, one thing that we really want to do, and I'll look at it as to how we can get continue to get the message of not only the Equality Task Force and the Human Rights Commission, but how we can, get out to the public in Arlington County, the role of the Equality Task Force and getting input and buy-in from the community at large. So we'll work on some initiatives that are low cost to the county.
What does that look like? Is it one of our outreach events, do you think, Sean, or is it something like, I don't know, disseminating links to the Equality Task Force website?
A lot of it would be links, but it's just a communication piece, that forward messaging that we can put out to the community at large. Say, here, not only is this the Human Rights Commission, within the Human Rights Commission, we have all these sub task force, from EEO to Equality Task Force, and this is what we're here to help you with. And we're looking for input. How can we make Arlington County better on all aspects, to the best of our ability, and getting that message out there. I know we haven't had much in terms of visibility as prior to the pandemic. We had the outreach sessions and booths, etc., like that. So if we could just find a way to implement those, at county events, with whether it's at the fair or just a social aspect of that. And that's how we get better, is to bring newer, younger faces on board, so their voices can be heard as well. So sure, it's a way to do that.
Great. Thank you, Sean. Tiffany, sorry, Sam.
Tangential to what you just said, I found out today, we don't have jurisdiction over this, but the Arlington Public Schools are setting up a new, sounds like a staff committee to consider policies and procedures impacting transgender students and employees. I was talking to one of the communication people today and found out about this based on a question I had. So I don't know anything else about it, but it seems like a good thing that they're focusing on.
And points of intersection with our work. Is anybody in this room working with Whitney on the education task force? Stephen, are you on that group with Whitney?
I'm on that group, but I don't have anything to report.
I just wonder, Stephen, can you take the action maybe to connect with Whitney on what Stefan just shared about this new committee that's been established at schools to look at students and it's just transgender, or is it
But
LGBTQ
No,
broadly?
transgender students and employees.
There's going to be a policy review and practices review at this committee level. And so query whether that's a point of intersection with the education task force you're working on.
Sure.
Great, thank you. Okay, Tiffany Jocelyn, I know, forgive me, I don't have my notes right in front of me or a recall top of mind, but I know we had solicited for volunteers at the last meeting to work with Bill on Tiffany. I can't recall who volunteered or who's on that, but to the extent. Okay, to the extent you haven't raised your hand for that, please think about whether you're willing to work on that with.
She said another 8.
Yeah, and I'll follow up on that, but here's a plug to please think about doing that and participating in that outreach. I think we have really skinny down some of our docket and our calendar to make it a little bit more workable throughout the year. So this is really going to be the key feature for this year, and really want to make it successful. So just think about whether you have some bandwidth to work with Bill on that and building it. I think he has a really nice topic that he's planning on immigration issues within the county, and he's working on some speakers in that regard. So just gives that some thought, whether you'd be willing to be part of that subcommittee. Anything else? Any other committee reports or member reports we haven't already talked about or covered?
I don't have a report, but I have a question as we start the new year, and something that has it been our habit to do a work plan as a commission?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe you and I can have a call.
Yeah.
Think through that, noodle through.
Yep.
Yeah, we usually do that in January, February.
Awesome.
Think about what our priorities are.
And I think building off of, I think, public engagement post-COVID is something I would love to work on, and I think I think there are ideas around, there are a number of advocacy groups that work on housing, work on disability policy, and to the extent that they have an ear into the community and can share if you have challenges in these spaces that might be an issue with the ordinance. I think, getting the public to directly pay attention to us, but I think getting advocacy groups that are working on the ground with folks that might be, that are certainly protected by our ordinance, and making sure they know we are available, and how to use their complaint process in the county's process. So, yes. So I think as part of our work plan, public engagement, bringing that all together, and so look forward to working with you on mapping that out.
This year we could do the county fair.
Yes, exactly.
Because we've never been wild.
Yeah, before COVID, Chris, that was a wonderful opportunity to do exactly what you're talking about, because as you know, so many local nonprofits were there. We have a booth. We have actually a wonderful table skirt that we invested in with our information and pens, right, Roland and Sean, right? We had all of our swag from what the HRC does and what we do, and we would man the table throughout the county fair, and there were really nice opportunities to do it. I will tell you, before COVID, we had a lot more public outreach on our calendar that we did. And it's been hard in COVID, so I'm excited to bring it back now that we're sort of back to more in-person stuff.
100%.
Okay, folks, does anybody else have any comments or any reports? Okay,
One quick
yeah,
question.
sure.
Who's the board liaison now?
Christian Dorsey.
He's still Christian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, he re-upped and he sent an email, I think, this week saying,
He's chair. That's good to be the chair.
yeah, indeed,
It's sure.
indeed. All right, guys, well, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, we'll see you all in February.
Thank you.
No, we have